Welcome to Oath&Ink Academy. Texas recently changed its notary process, adding a required education course and exam that simply didn't exist before this year. This lesson walks you through today's eligibility rules, the new SB 693 requirements, and exactly where your authority as a notary begins and ends. By the end, you'll know exactly what it takes to get commissioned under Texas's current rules. Let's get started. Let's break this down. Becoming a Texas notary now involves 5 steps: meeting eligibility requirements, completing the state's required education course and exam, securing your bond, submitting your application, and understanding the UPL boundary. What does this actually mean in real situations? It means Texas is no longer one of the easiest states to get commissioned in, since a 2026 law now requires proof of knowledge before you're approved. We'll walk through each step. Here's what to know about eligibility. You must be at least 18 years old, a legal Texas resident, and free of any final felony conviction or crime involving moral turpitude. One thing many beginners overlook is that moving out of state invalidates your commission immediately, since Texas residency must be maintained throughout your entire term. The Secretary of State also runs a background check on every single applicant before approval. Now let's look at the biggest recent change. Under Senate Bill 693, effective January 1st, 2026, all new and renewing applicants must complete a mandatory education course through the Secretary of State's portal and pass a 20-question assessment with 70% or higher. This becomes important because only the Secretary of State's own course satisfies this requirement. Why is this step often misunderstood? Because private courses, however helpful, do not replace this official exam. Another important point, Texas requires a 4-year $10,000 surety bond obtained through a licensed bonding company before you even submit an application. You'll submit your application through the Secretary of State's online portal, along with your education certificate and the state filing fee. This is where many people become confused, because you must still take your oath of office in person before another notary, even if you applied entirely online. Here's where it can get confusing. A Texas notary can take acknowledgments, administer oaths, witness signatures, and certify copies of certain documents, but cannot give legal advice, draft documents, or explain what a document means. That's the unauthorized practice of law. What could happen if this is skipped? Offering legal guidance, even with good intentions, can expose you to civil penalties and put your commission at risk. Refer legal questions to a licensed Texas attorney instead. One thing many beginners overlook is assuming the new exam works like an open book review, when it's actually based closely on the state's own instructional videos. Other common mistakes include forgetting to notarize the oath of office before another notary, letting the commission lapse before renewal, and not updating an address change within the required 10 days. This is where many people become confused, because Texas treats these administrative details seriously. This becomes important because your seal and journal are what make your commission usable. Your seal must show your name, the words Notary Public, State of Texas, your commission expiration date, and your commission number. What does this actually mean in real situations? It means every entry in your journal, including the date, document type, and signer identification, must now be retained for 10 years under current Texas law. So keep your records organized and secure. Now let's look at remote online notarization in Texas. An online notary public has the same authority as a traditional notary but performs notarizations through secure two-way video and audio technology. Why is this step often misunderstood? Because RON requires its own separate application, along with an X. 509 compliant digital certificate and electronic seal from an approved provider. It's a valuable add-on once your traditional commission is active, not a replacement for it. Let's recap. Becoming a Texas notary today means meeting eligibility requirements, completing the state's required education course and exam, securing your bond, and submitting your application through the Secretary of State's portal. Another important point, know where the UPL boundary sits the moment you're commissioned. What does this actually mean in real situations? It means you can start serving your community confidently, within the rules that protect both you and your clients. Thank you for joining this lesson. Stay professional, stay precise, and keep serving your community with excellence. Subscribe to Oath&Ink Academy for more professional education.